September 14 is not just another day on the calendar, it is a mark, a threshold, a line that separates what was from what will be. It is a warning but also a chance, and if ignored, it will not return. This day carries weight because it is the reminder that life does not wait. Everything that you have postponed, everything you have delayed, every excuse you have repeated, September 14 is standing as the last call to leave behind weakness and step into strength. To waste this moment is to step willingly into the hands of regret. There is no comfort in pretending that time is endless. Time does not bend to your desires. It moves with precision, with silence, with discipline. September 14 exposes this truth with urgency. You are being told that waiting any longer will close the gate, and once it closes, it will not open again. There is always talk about someday and tomorrow, but September 14 is the signal that tomorrow is gone. The air of warning is not to frighten but to awaken, because if you are not shaken now, then when? The time for change, for clarity, for strength is not hidden in the future. It is here, and September 14 demands it. Self-growth is not about comfort. It is about breaking the shell that has trapped you. For too long, you have carried your patterns, your distractions, your empty promises. September 14 is a mirror showing you the weight of your own chains. You cannot expect freedom while holding them tighter every day. This date is given as a chance to release them, to cut them, to burn them. To stay the same after September 14 is to accept destruction. You must understand that discipline is the bridge. Without discipline, nothing will transform. With discipline, every breath becomes purpose. The teachings of self are always sharp, never soft. September 14 teaches you that delay is death. Every day you have looked at your life and told yourself there is still time, but there is not. The window narrows, the walls close in, and September 14 comes like thunder to remind you enough waiting. It is time to rise. It is time to change. It is time to grow beyond hesitation. It is the last chance before too late. You must face yourself with truth. Ask, where have you been blind? Where have you been weak? Where have you traded growth for comfort? September 14 cuts through the fog and says, no more. Do not mistake this date as superstition. It is not about numbers on paper. It is about the state of your life. You know the places you have failed yourself. You know the promises you have broken. You know the strength you have hidden under excuses. September 14 is not offering you advice. It is offering you a command. Rise or fall, change or remain, transform or be destroyed by your own stagnation. Think of all the paths you could have walked if you had acted earlier. Think of the energy wasted on fear, doubt, laziness. September 14 is the reset, the strike of lightning that can split the sky of your old self. Do not let it pass as just another day, because it is not. It is a symbol of urgency, a fire set at your feet, a call that cannot be silenced. If you hear it and turn away, you will carry the echo of that choice forever. But if you hear it and step forward, it will mark the rebirth of everything you once thought impossible. Self-growth is violent to the old self. It does not negotiate. It destroys weakness. September 14 tells you that if you want to live, you must be ruthless with what has kept you small. Cut away distractions, burn away lies, crush hesitation. This is not gentle advice. This is the edge of a sword. September 14 is that sword. Do not hold it and admire it. Use it. Slice through the layers of excuses and face what you truly are. Understand this deeply. September 14 is not for watching. It is not for waiting. It is not for speaking empty words. It is for action. It is the call to become, the order to rise, the last moment where the gate of change is open. Once it closes, you will be left outside, staring at what could have been. And no amount of tears, no amount of prayer, no amount of regret will bring it back. So take this day with seriousness. Let it burn inside of you. Let it strip away everything false. Do not bow to weakness anymore. Stand with clarity, with strength, with discipline. On September 14, you either awaken or you fall asleep forever. The choice is not far away. The choice is here in this moment. The last chance before too late. September 14 is not an ordinary day. It's the day of last chances, the day that carries a heavy warning. Many people believe they can continue waiting, believing there will always be another chance, another opening, another opportunity. But September 14 stands as a barrier, a wall, the final reminder that the window of change is not endless. It does not wait for your convenience. It does not wait for your comfort. September 14 is the final moment where the possibility of transformation remains open. And once it passes, you will be left with nothing but the echo of what you could have done. The danger of life is the belief that tomorrow will always come. People live their lives in delay, in hesitation, in half measures. They convince themselves that they can improve later, that discipline can wait, that growth is something to begin when they feel ready. But September 14 destroys that illusion. It says clearly the time has already run out. This is the last chance before too late. Every excuse that has been whispered in your mind becomes powerless before the truth of this day. September 14 carries the weight of finality. The power of last chances is that they strip away the option to hide. There is no longer room to negotiate with yourself, no longer space to delay. On September 14, either you step into discipline or you surrender to failure. Either you act with courage or you collapse under fear. The last chance is not a gentle reminder. It is the final blow, the last strike before the door closes. That is why September 14 must be taken seriously. If you ignore it, you will watch your life fall into regret, and regret is heavier than any discipline you could ever endure. To understand the meaning of September for 14, you must see the truth. Life has already given you warnings. You have seen opportunities pass. You have felt the sting of wasted time. You have heard the inner voice telling you to rise. But you did not. You waited. You postponed. You said, tomorrow. September 14 is the day that declares there is no tomorrow. There is only now. It is the power of last chances, the final call to break free before chains become permanent. Self-growth demands urgency. It demands that you cut through hesitation and rise. September 14 is not offering you comfort. It is offering you fire. This is the kind of fire that either forges you into strength or burns you into ashes. What you do with this chance determines which side you will live on. Last chances are like the final breath before drowning. If you waste it, you will not return. That is why September 14 is dangerous. It is powerful. It is dramatic because it carries the force of ending. It leaves no space for laziness. Think about how many times you promised yourself change. Think about how many mornings you woke up and decided to wait one more day. September 14 tells you that the cycle ends here. No more promises, no more empty words. If you do not act on this day, if you do not embrace discipline, then you have chosen to close the door yourself. The last chance is not a gift to be admired. It is a responsibility to be lived. On September 14, weakness cannot survive. You either destroy it or it destroys you. The power of this day is that it strips away all illusions. It reminds you that comfort is not your friend and delay is not your ally. Every wasted hour before this day has built up the weight of urgency. The last chance is the final cut through the noise, telling you act now or accept the change you have built for yourself. Growth is not kind. It is sharp. It is ruthless. It demands sacrifice. September 14 teaches this with force. If you embrace the last chance, you will grow beyond what you thought possible. If you reject it, you will remain a prisoner of your own weakness. There is no middle path. The power of last chances is the absence of another opportunity. That is why September 14 is called the final moment before too late. You must let this day shake you. You must let it strip away your excuses and your delays. You must treat it as the last alarm bell before the fire consumes the house. If you rise with discipline on September 14, you will be reborn into strength. If you remain asleep, you will wake up to regret that cannot be erased. The power of last chances is brutal, but it is also pure. It leaves no space for lies. It tells you the truth. This is the last chance. September 14 carries this power in full force. Do not underestimate it. Do not take it lightly. It is not simply another day. It is the day that decides whether you transform or remain broken. It is the line that divides destiny from destruction. This is your final call to rise. This is the last chance before too late. September 14 is not just a date. It is a demand for inner discipline and awakening. It is the moment where life is no longer asking politely but commanding you to pay attention. Inner discipline is not about control from the outside. It is about command from within. It is the power that keeps your thoughts sharp, your actions clean, and your spirit unshaken. Without it, you are carried by distraction, thrown by temptation, and lost in noise. September 14 arrives to remind you that if you do not govern yourself, the world will govern you, and the cost will be your life wasted. Awakening is not something that comes by chance. It is not a gift handed to you. Awakening is earned by effort, by clarity, by discipline. September 14 is the warning that this awakening must no longer be delayed. Too long you have lived asleep, walking through routines, repeating cycles, allowing weakness to rule your decisions. September 14 tells you there is no more time to drift. The final chance is here to open your eyes fully and see what you have become, and then to demand more of yourself. Discipline is the path to freedom. Without discipline, you are chained by habits, by impulses, by emotions that drag you into weakness. With discipline, you take control. You decide what you eat, how you move, what you think, what you say. September 14 is the mark on the wall reminding you that every moment of your life is built from these decisions. If you do not master them now, they will master you forever. This date calls for you to become ruthless with yourself, to demand strength when weakness tempts you, to demand clarity when confusion clouds you, to demand growth when comfort whispers lies. The urgency of September 14 is not soft. It does not give you time to prepare slowly. It is the last chance, and it demands action. You cannot postpone discipline anymore. You cannot say, tomorrow I will be stronger. September 14 says, no, there is no tomorrow. There is only this moment to wake up. This is the moment to rise and take full control of your inner world. Without that, everything outside collapses. Inner awakening is the recognition that life is slipping, that time is leaving, and that you cannot remain asleep. It is dramatic because it must break through the chains you have carried for years. September 14 is the strike of lightning that forces your eyes open. The truth is simple. If you do not awaken now, you will stay blind forever. If you do not take control now, you will live the rest of your life as a prisoner of your habits. This date is not a suggestion. It is a final order to face yourself and rebuild from within. Too many have wasted their lives waiting for someone to save them. They wait for help, for luck, for signs. September 14 teaches you that no one is coming. You are the savior of your own life. Self-growth is not given. It is carved through sweat and effort. Inner discipline is the chisel. Awakening is the hammer. With these two, you break the stone of your old self and uncover strength that has been buried too long. But you must act on this day, not after, not later, not when it feels easy. September 14 demands that you strike now. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is love for yourself expressed in action. It is the structure that allows you to rise beyond your limits. September 14 shows you that without discipline, love for yourself is only a word. Awakening makes you see clearly that the greatest enemy is not outside, but within. Laziness, fear, hesitation, these are the enemies that must be defeated. September 14 is the battlefield, and you must win here or you will lose forever. The teachings of self-growth are sharp and uncompromising. September 14 embodies them. It says directly, if you are not disciplined, you will fall. If you are not awake, you will be blind. If you are not ready, you will be left behind. This is why this day carries the tone of urgency, the weight of drama, because the truth is not soft. The truth is hard. The truth demands change now, not later. On September 14, You either claim your power or surrender it. You either build discipline or remain enslaved to weakness. You either awaken or stay asleep. This is the last chance before it is too late. There is no second opportunity waiting. There is no extension. There is no mercy for those who waste it. Take this day as your alarm, your strike, your moment of rebirth. The path of growth is open, but it will not remain open. Step onto it now with clarity, with discipline, with awakening, and your life will transform. Refuse it, and you will carry the weight of this missed chance forever. September 14 is not here to comfort you. It is here to confront you. It is the day that forces you to break free from the chains you have carried for too long. These chains are not placed on you by others. They are forged by your own hands. Habits that weaken you, thoughts that poison you, attachments that keep you small. September 14 is the last warning, the last strike of the bell, the moment to cut them before they drag you into destruction. If you do not let them go on this day, you will carry them into the rest of your life, and they will crush you under their weight. Breaking free is not a gentle act. It is not soft. It is not quiet. It is violent to the old self. It is ruthless against the parts of you that have betrayed your own growth. September 14 demands that you destroy what is destroying you. Comfort has become a trap. Fear has become your master. Excuses have become your language. This is the day to burn it all. This is the day to step out of the prison and never return. Old chains appear in many forms. They are toxic relationships that drain you. They are addictions that waste your energy. They are thoughts that whisper you are not strong enough. They are the laziness that keeps you from action, the doubts that hold you from decisions. September 14 shines a light on them all, exposing them for what they are: lies. Lies you have repeated to yourself until you believed them. Lies that have become your reality. On this day, you are called to smash them with clarity. Self-growth begins when you destroy what weakens you. You cannot carry poison and expect health. You cannot cling to the past and expect freedom. September 14 stands as the reminder that the chains must break now. Not tomorrow, not later, not when it feels easier. The door is open today, but it will not remain open. If you refuse to step through, you will stay bound forever. You must understand that the cost of not breaking free is greater than the pain of letting go. The pain of discipline, the pain of courage, the pain of sacrifice, these are temporary, but the pain of regret is permanent. September 14 carries this truth in its weight. It declares that you cannot hide anymore. You cannot pretend anymore. You cannot live asleep anymore. You must cut loose what is killing your strength, or it will bury you alive. Growth demands release. To rise higher, you must let go of what holds you down. Imagine a bird trying to fly with stones tied to its wings. That has been your life, every day carrying weights that were never meant for you. September 14 is the chance to untie them. It is the moment where you drop the stones and allow yourself to ascend. But if you hold on, do not be surprised when you never leave the ground. Breaking free requires courage. It requires that you look directly at your fears, your attachments, your false comforts, and decide they no longer control you. September 14 is the day to prove that courage. This is not about small steps. This is about decisive action, a clean cut, a complete break. The old self must die so that the new self can be born. Anything less is not enough. There is a reason this day carries such urgency. It is not because you have never had chances before. It is because chances have already been wasted. Too many times you knew what was wrong but refused to act. Too many times you chose the easy path and fell deeper into weakness. September 14 comes as the last chance to correct it. The final moment where you can still walk free before the cage locks behind you. Do not be deceived by the false voice of comfort. It will tell you to wait. It will tell you to stay where you are. It will tell you that change can happen later. But September 14 silences that voice with a strike of reality. Later does not exist. Later is the excuse that has already stolen years from you. Later is the greatest lie you have believed. This day is proof that the time is now or never. When you choose to break free on September 14, everything changes. Your mind becomes clear. Your energy returns, your path opens. You are no longer trapped by the same cycles, the same mistakes, the same pain. You rise into strength, into freedom, into truth. But if you ignore this chance, you stay bound, repeating the same life, suffering the same chains until the end. September 14 is the final call to release everything that holds you back, to burn the old, to shatter the chains, to destroy the lies. It is the day where hesitation must end and action must begin. It is not soft, it is not forgiving. It is dramatic, sharp, and final. Break free now or be trapped forever. This is the truth of September 14. This is the last chance before it is too late. September 14 is the day of courage and readiness. It is the day that tests whether you are prepared to step into the life that waits for you or whether you will remain chained to hesitation. Courage is not about the absence of fear. It is about walking forward while fear screams at you to stop. Readiness is not about waiting for the perfect time. It is about creating strength in the present moment. September 14 is the line drawn in front of you, daring you to act. If you do not step forward now, the line will disappear and the chance will be gone forever. Many people spend their lives waiting to feel ready, but they never do. They wait for courage to arrive like a gift, but it never comes. September 14 teaches you that courage is a decision, not a feeling. Readiness is a choice, not a condition. You are never given courage. You forge it in the fire of action. You are never handed readiness. You build it by stepping into what scares you. September 14 strips away excuses and shows the truth. You either move now or you remain the same forever. The power of this day is that it demands proof of who you are. Not words, not dreams, not promises. Proof through action. Courage must be shown, not spoken. Readiness must be lived, not imagined. On September 14, life does not ask you politely. It commands you to step forward. To ignore this call is to choose weakness, and weakness will not forgive you. Weakness will bury you in regret. Courage and readiness will lift you into transformation. The path of growth is always guarded by fear. Fear will tell you that you are not good enough, that you are not strong enough, that the risk is too great. But September 14 is the chance to silence that voice, to stand in front of fear and refuse to bow, to walk into the unknown with discipline, with clarity, with the unshakable strength. This is the day to prove to yourself that you are greater than your fear. This is the day to finally stop running and start rising. Readiness means that you stop waiting for conditions to be perfect, and they will never be perfect. Life will always bring obstacles, distractions, and doubts. September 14 reminds you that you cannot wait for alignment. You must create alignment within yourself. Discipline becomes the anchor, courage becomes the fuel, and readiness becomes the weapon. With these, nothing can stop you. Without them, everything will break you. You have spent enough time preparing, enough time thinking, enough time waiting. September 14 is not for planning, it is for action. It is the test of whether you can act in the face of uncertainty, whether you can take the first step without seeing the whole path. Growth is born from this step. It is dramatic because it changes everything. One step taken with courage and readiness on September 14 will open doors that hesitation has kept shut for years. To live without courage is to live half a life. To live without readiness is to miss every chance that comes your way. September 14 shows you the cost of hesitation. Every opportunity you ignored, every chance you let slip, and every moment you held back, they all lead here. This is the last chance to change the pattern, to break the cycle, to step forward with strength. Without this, the future will look exactly like the past. You must understand that courage is built through doing. The moment you act, fear weakens. The moment you move, doubt fades. September 14 is the moment to act, to move, to build the courage that will carry you forward. Readiness comes in the same way. The more you step forward, the more ready you become. Action feeds courage. Action creates readiness. and this day demands action without hesitation. September 14 is not asking for small change, it is demanding transformation. It is calling you to rise, to claim your life, to prove that you are prepared for the destiny waiting ahead. Those who act with courage and readiness will step into a new reality. Those who hide in fear will remain trapped in the same suffering. There is no middle ground. There is no second chance. This is why the day is heavy with urgency. It is not a soft reminder. It is a final warning. Courage cannot wait. Readiness cannot wait. September 14 is the battlefield where you must prove your strength. If you do not fight now, the war is lost. If you do not step forward now, the gate will close. Let this day ignite you. Let it burn away hesitation. Let it strip you of excuses. Stand tall, breathe deep, and step forward with full power. September 14 is the test of your courage, the measure of your readiness, the last chance before too late. Those who rise on this day will never be the same again. Those who hide will never escape the weight of regret. This is the truth. This is the demand. This is the moment of courage and readiness. September 14 is the day of decision. It is the day that divides transformation from consequences. It is not just another moment in time. It is the crossroad where you either rise into a new life or remain trapped in the old one. On September 14, hesitation will not save you. Waiting will not protect you. Excuses will not shield you. The truth is simple. You either transform or you pay the price of staying the same. This is why the weight of this day is so heavy, why its message is so sharp. It is the last chance before too late. Transformation is not easy. It is the breaking of patterns, the shattering of illusions, the burning of the self you no longer want to be. It is painful, it is raw, it is demanding. But September 14 tells you clearly that this pain is necessary. Without it, there is no growth. Without it, you remain chained to weakness. September 14 forces you to see that if you do not embrace the pain of transformation, you will face the heavier pain of consequences. One pain leads to freedom, the other leads to regret. The consequences of ignoring this day are real. They are not distant. They are not abstract. They are your life continuing in cycles of weakness. They are opportunities slipping away, doors closing, relationships breaking, health declining, spirit fading. September 14 is the final warning that these consequences cannot be ignored anymore. If you refuse to transform, you are choosing to suffer them. There will be no escape once the chance is gone. Transformation requires that you let go of who you were. It requires that you face your fears, that you destroy your excuses, that you cut away everything false. September 14 is the call to do this now, not in pieces, not slowly, but fully. To break the chains, to burn the old self, to stand in the fire of change and come out stronger. Transformation is violent to your comfort, but it is the only path to freedom. This day is not about comfort. It is about urgency. September 14 is the line drawn in the sand. On one side is growth, on the other is destruction. You cannot stand in the middle. You cannot delay the decision. You must choose. If you choose transformation, you step into a life of strength, clarity, and discipline. If you choose hesitation, you accept consequences that will follow you until the end. This is why September 14 is dramatic. It carries the weight of finality. Self-growth does not tolerate lies. You cannot tell yourself you will change tomorrow. You cannot pretend that one day it will be easier. September 14 cuts through these illusions. It is the reminder that time has already been wasted. The window is closing. If you do not act now, it will close completely. The consequences will lock in, and you will live with what you refused to change. Transformation is not something you wait for. It is something you decide. September 14 is the day to decide, to rise with courage, to claim discipline, to awaken fully, and to walk into the life you are capable of. It is the day to leave behind everything that has weakened you. The habits that drain you, the voices that hold you back, the fears that freeze you. They all must end here. September 14 is the fire where they are burned. The dramatic truth is this: there will not be another chance like this. The weight of September 14 is that it is final. It carries the sharpness of a last warning. You cannot afford to waste it. The cost of hesitation is too high, the consequences too heavy. If you let it pass, and you will remember it as the day you could have risen but chose to stay small, that memory will follow you and it will not leave. But if you transform on September 14, everything changes. You step into strength that you thought was impossible. You rise into clarity that cuts through confusion. You become disciplined in a way that reshapes your future. The old self dies and the new self is born. This is the power of transformation. This is why the day carries such urgency, such finality, because it is the moment of rebirth or the moment of destruction. September 14 is not soft, it is not forgiving, it does not offer you comfort. It offers you truth. Transform now or face the consequences. This is the message. This is the demand. This is the last chance before too late.